So let me paint you a picture. Here you are in this high intensity work environment, which has a lot of pressure, has high targets to meet. You have to be productive, you have to be proactive. You're dealing with colleagues who will spike you up or will trigger you up or will just mess up something that you are either involved in or supervisory over, and you get triggered at one way or the other about work. And now this is now how something ends up becoming far much more than you even think about. So here you are, that trigger effect happens. The trigger triggers cortisol. Cortisol goes and triggers your brain, and it specifically triggers the limbic side of your brain, which is where we process our emotions. The cortex side of the brain is where we practicalize what we process in our emotional side of the brain. So the limbic processes our emotions, the cortex practicalize whatever we pick up, produce, or even enhance, and we either act out, we either respond, or react. Everyone does it. But for you, you're in your hormonal chaos. So you're constantly pushing cortisol to your emotional side of your brain, and your limbic now is overworking. You're oversensitive, spiked up with stress. You're overreacting. You say things, you do things, you're pensive, you're angry, you're spiteful, or you're just reactive. Cortisol is overworking, so now your brain fog even now gets more foggier than it usually or should be. You're spiked up here and there because now you're also having hot flashes in the midst of all this chaos that you're having hormonally, plus the practicality of what's happening in your environment. Why? Because you're in a high stress work environment. Now, the unfortunate thing about all this happening with you inside of you while you have your hormonal chaos in your perimenopause is that it ends up affecting your mental health, your emotional health, your physical well-being. Because while all this is happening, mental is overly engaged on one side, your emotions are spiked up, and not only because of the hormonal chaos, but because you are reacting your emotions in an unfortunate, unhealthy way. How it comes and affects your well-being: cortisol is running around your body, it's affecting your blood pressure, it's affecting your blood sugar. You're on overdrive, so you're constantly fatigued and you don't have enough rest because now at one point you're overly hyper, the other side now you're having a depressive downtime, so sleep is affected, appetite is affected. And then the unfortunate thing, it also affects your immune system because cortisol is not supposed to be anywhere and everywhere at the same time all the time because it has its main function. Fortunately or unfortunately enough, it goes and sits on your fat. It sits on your fat because the metabolic process of exercising or strength or just working out is not in process at the time. You gain weight. That weight ends up affecting your bone density. Now, all this is happening in the process of time because remember, perimenopause is running between 4 to 7 years max. Some have even indicated up to 10 years. So now this is actually becoming a habit. So constant, constant pressure, constant intensity, it's not going well for you. So by the time you come out of perimenopause and into menopause and you're on the post-menopause, your mental health has already been affected. You've picked up maladaptive behaviors, which is affecting you and every other relationship you have. You've not been eating right. Sometimes, for the bone density issue, others have gotten similar conditions like arthritis you're at this particular point whereby now, what do I do? Who am I? You even lost your identity. So my advice and what I suggest to most ladies, if you know your mental health is something that is dear to you, your relationship at home is also dear to you, there may need to be a discussion about a career change or learn how to navigate this together with your spouse, and also maybe have therapy as an option to help you go through it, because all these things are going to affect you consistently and from time to time. And remember, the process is not going to stop because of your work environment. And the unfortunate thing about work environments, there's not enough push right now to bring in benefits that will sustain or help or take ladies through perimenopause. There's not enough push to that yet. They will be in the process of time, I hope, but right now it's not there. So the intensity of what you're going through should not match up with what is happening inside of you. One has got to give. And yes, there needs to be income in the family. And yes, you're helping your partner provide. However, let's also put as a priority your process going through this to come out better, to come out well, to come out well in your mind, to come out well in your emotions, to come out well in your well being. Because this process is going to happen. Like I always say, two things that will help us go through this is one, connection, and two, just having a partner who's there to empathize with you. So, men, let's pick up our mantle. Men, let's run with our ladies. Let's be there for our ladies. Let us even be that punching bag. Come on. I say this, and it's not taken seriously. For better or for worse, for rich and poor, for sickness and health, included menopause. We just didn't know it. Jerry said it.